Welcome back to GraveyardDance.com. This week, we have another dark tale of a cursed object that terrified anyone it came in contact with. In this particular case, it's the wedding dress of a woman who never had the chance to wear it for the man she loved due to the interference of a nosy parent, but we'll get to all that soon enough. Before we get to all that, we have to tell you about our sponsor today, and that's a really great website that does a lot of good for the most innocent parts of our world, and that's helping animals. EyesOfADog.com is a nationwide directory that reaches all across the United States from one end to another to help these poor innocent fur babies get out of the shelters and into loving homes where they belong. No matter what type of dog or cat you're looking for, you will be able to find it with just a few clicks of a mouse. Simply go to EyesOfADog.com and click your state. If you're on a mobile phone, click those three little bars in the upper corner and it will take you to the state pages. Click your state, then city or town nearest you, and boom, you're in like Flynn. Eyes of a Dog doesn't make anything from the individual adoptions on their site. All that is absolutely between you and the adoption agency you choose, but a portion of the money they bring in from the online pet supply store and from the veterinary ad space they sell goes to help monthly adopt-a-thons where animals all across the country who are in danger of being euthanized right away has one last chance at being adopted. Show your support by clicking on the site and following them on social media. The social media bar is right there on the main page. Share their content with anyone you can to get the word out and to help save these poor innocent babies. There is a Cash App for the site if you'd like to chip in a few bucks for the online adoptions. As anyone knows, when you upload one to your Facebook page, they charge you for more people being able to view it. The ads usually take around $50 to $60 for a starting ad, and they go up from there. So here's their Cash App link. Let's save some animals. With all that said, grab some popcorn or a pizza, an ice-cold soft drink of your choosing, and kick back to watch another spooky tale from our not-too-distant past. How many of you have been married? Better yet, how many of you are engaged? Imagine how blissfully happy you are right now. Holding hands, staring into each other's eyes, and, well, you know, those other things we can't talk about on here. You're probably counting down the minutes until you can start sharing your life with that special person you have grown to love. Now imagine living your entire life and never having that chance. Imagine seeing everyone around you happy, but yours being taken from you. Anna Baker wanted that more than anything else in life, but a well-meaning parent took that from her and left her to suffer an eternity of loneliness and suffering. Her father, Elias Baker, was a very wealthy merchant who had everything money could buy. He only wanted the finest things in life for his family of 5. Elias and his wife Hetty, their 2 sons David and Sylvester, and their youngest child, a daughter named Anna, they lived in a huge Greek-style home with large white columns built in Taluna, Pennsylvania. The family would often host parties and invite the most wealthiest of the elite, partly to show off their wealth, but also to marry their child 10 into wealth as well, as to combine their financial empires. At that time, the Baker home was one of the largest in the area, and the family were envied by everyone around because they were rich beyond their wildest dreams. Money and prestige meant a lot to Anna's father Elias, but it meant nothing to Anna. She could have cared less. She had a good heart and dreamed of being married to someone she truly loved, and by someone who truly loved her back. She didn't care if he had money or not. Elias tried his best to marry his daughter off into well-to-do families who had a high social status, but one after one, Anna, who had a mind of her own, said not only no, but hell no. She wanted to pick her own man, and that was that, and that is exactly what she did. I'm not sure if there is any historical records of the man's name. If there is, I couldn't find it. The story goes, though, that she somehow met a simple man who lived nearby who worked a hard labor position down at the local steel mill. Working in those types of jobs, you would come home covered with dirt and grime. Not exactly someone old Elias could relate to by any means. Wouldn't you have loved to have seen the look on her dad's face when she said, "Hey Dad, I found the man of my dreams. I'm getting married, Daddy." That was probably a shitty family dinner that night for sure. What exactly happened next is unsure. What is known is that her father put a stop to the wedding. Did he pay him off to leave his daughter alone? Did he somehow threaten him to back off? Some even claim that he had to have had the worker fired from his job. Whatever took place, there was two things that were certain. There was no wedding, and poor Anna was heartbroken and devastated. Elias probably thought that he was doing his daughter a favor, but if he only knew the eternal suffering he would cause. It makes you wonder, if he'd known what would have happened, would he still do the same thing all over again? Her dad probably thought that she'd get over her love of the steel mill worker and move on to one of the men he had in mind, but that's not what happened. Anna stayed in her room for weeks at first, then years. She became a total recluse and never went out in public. She kept her wedding dress, hoping to one day to be reunited with her man she loved. Time went on, and eventually in 1848, Elias passed away. Anna may have loved her dad, but now she knew she had a chance to reach out to her long-lost love. It would only end in more heartbreak and disappointment. The man whom she vowed to love the rest of her life, and the one she promised to wait for, had already moved on and gotten married and had a family of his own. The news absolutely shattered poor Anna. It's said she retreated to her home and was nearly driven mad from the tragic news. Maids and housekeepers would often walk by her room only to see her dancing in front of a mirror, wearing her wedding dress with tears streaming down her face. She vowed never to love ever again, and she took that promise with her to the grave after eventually dying as an old woman in 1914. This is where things start to get strange. Her wedding dress was hung in a closet. As staff would walk by, they would sometimes hear Anna singing or humming the wedding song. When they would look in the direction of where the dress was, they would see it moving from side to side. The dress and matching shoes were eventually put into an airtight glass case, but that still didn't stop the dress from occasionally moving from side to side, as if someone was in it trying to dance. Soon, Anna's ghost began being seen in and around the house, and always wearing her wedding dress. It gets stranger still, though. Years later, the descendants of Anna's family sold the home to a historical society, and they turned it into a museum for the area, and Anna's dress was one of the items on display. The eerie part about this story is what would happen when anyone would touch the haunted dress. Women in particular would have extremely bad luck starting immediately after touching the dress. Everything from bad dreams and nightmares of Anna to extremely bad luck in all aspects of life, and even their own relationships, which had otherwise been great, shatter immediately after touching the dress. Many claim to have hallucinations of a woman wearing the wedding dress dancing around the moment their fingers touched the glass case that displayed it. The museum has had many witnesses and staff alike claim to see almost all the members of the Baker family over the years, but it was always Anna who was seen the most. In 1981, the historical society that now owns the museum removed the dress, claiming that it was simply because they didn't want it to get damaged. But was that really the reason, really? Or was it to cut down on the terrifying ghostly sightings and terrible luck that it was bringing to so many of the guests who came to see it? Spiritual mediums have came to investigate the dress and claim to have felt the presence of Anna, and said that she only wanted to come back from time to time to wear her dress. Many of the photographers and videographers who have tried to document the dress have had to leave with their otherwise charged and working equipment, leave with their cameras drained, and no reason why. What do you think? Would you touch the dress if you were given a chance? Do you think there's anything to it? We'd love to know what you think in the comments section below. If you haven't gone to our site and clicked each of the social icons so you can like and share our stuff, why not? Quit being stubborn and support us already. We love you for watching. Till next time, tell us what stories you want in the comments section below.